It is Thursday, December 1st, 1955. A black woman named Rosa Parks is waiting at a bus stop on Cleveland Avenue in Montgomery, Alabama. When the bus stops for her, she takes a seat in the back where blacks are required to sit. After several other stops, the front seats are filled up with white people, and one white man is standing in the aisle.
You back there, get up. I need those seats. Did you hear me, lady? I said get up. Are you going to move or not?
No, I'm not.
You must not be hearing me right, lady. Everybody knows those seats go to the white folks when they are needed. There's a law of... I'm not going to be able to let you get away with this. There's a law about this, you know.
Maybe it's time we had a law that treated people fairly.
I'll let someone else write if the laws are fair enough. Lady, I'm calling the police to have you arrested.
You do that.
Excuse me, officer? Could you please step on the bus and help us out?
What's the problem?
This lady won't give her seat to the other passenger. I told her to move, but she will not budge.
Do you speak English, lady? Yes, I do. Did you hear what the bus driver said? Yes, I did. Then why won't you get up? I didn't think I should have to. Why do you push us around? I don't know, but the law is the law and you're breaking it. I'm putting you under arrest.
The police officer put Rosa into a patrol car and took her to jail. She was fingerprinted and photographed, and then she was put into a cell. A friend of Rosa's, Mrs. Pratt, had been on the bus when Rosa was arrested. She ran to Rosa's house to tell Rosa's husband what had happened.
Rosa didn't move. The bus driver had to pull the bus over and call the police. Next thing I knew, Rosa was on her way to jail.
I'm going to need some help. Go get my friend Edie Nixon. Tell him to meet me at the jail. And quick.
Whatever you say, Raymond.
Raymond and Edie paid Rosa's bail and got her out of jail. When they got home, they all discussed Rosa's arrest over a cup of coffee.
They didn't hurt you, did they? No, but I almost got another fine. I was so thirsty that I just drank out of the water fountain without paying any attention. The officer told me it was for whites only. Imagine that, even in jail.
We've been living with this injustice for too long, and I think that your arrest might be a blessing in disguise.
Why do you say that?
Word about your arrest is spreading around town like wildfire, and people are up in arms about this. This is our chance to organize the community.
How?
We'll boycott the buses. If we have to give up our seats to white people, we shouldn't ride the buses at all.
How long will the boycott last?
Until they desegregate the buses.
Edie, we can't change the whole world in one day.
But we've got to start somewhere. Are you with me?
Yes, Edie, it's time, like you said.
Rosa, I'm worried about your safety. You know a lot of whites are going to be mighty mad when they hear about this.
If we all unite, we can be strong and help each other get through this.
Later that night, Edie planned the boycott with the new minister at the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. The new pastor's name was Martin Luther King, Jr.
The boycott will need a lot of organization, and we'll need a place to coordinate our efforts. I say we use the church as a meeting place, and I was hoping that you could provide some leadership reference.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea. I've only been here for a year. People may not accept me as a leader.
It's never going to be perfect, so we have to stand up to the occasion and do the best that we can.
I can see the urgency of the situation. Yes, let's use the church as our meeting place. How do you think we should handle the boycott?
Volunteers have already made leaflets telling people not to ride the buses on Monday. And we have set up carpools, and black cab drivers are giving rides for 10 cents so that people can still get to work.
On Monday, December 5th, there were hardly any black people on the buses. Instead, they gathered on street corners and waited for rides from friends and cab drivers. Rosa went to court and was fined $10 for breaking the law. She refused to pay the fine. That night, there was a mass meeting to decide on a future course of action. At the meeting, Reverend King was elected leader of the movement. He gave a speech that electrified his audience.
We are here because we are American citizens and we are determined to apply our citizenship to the fullest. There comes a time when people get tired of being trampled. There comes a time, my friends, when people get tired of being subjected to humiliation and despair. We have a
a long road ahead of us, brothers and sisters. Our enemies will try to bring us down to the pit of hatred. You cannot have hatred in your heart and seek justice at the same time. You must meet violence with non-violence. We must stick together. Wait. Right here in Montgomery, where the history books are written, somebody will say there lived a race of people, of black people, who had the moral courage to fight for their rights as Americans.
That's right!
In the meantime, we must stick together and work together, for what we are doing is right, for what we are doing is just.
The blacks of Montgomery were determined to stand up for their rights and to challenge white power. They continued the boycott in spite of threats and attacks by racists. On December 20th, 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court finally ordered the city of Montgomery to desegregate its buses. The boycott had lasted over a year, but it had achieved its goal. Blacks no longer had to give up their seats to white passengers. Reverend King continued to fight for justice, and growing numbers of people joined him. Rosa Parks' simple act of defiance 1 year earlier had marked the beginning of what is now called the Civil Rights Movement.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We're on to victory. We're on to victory. We're on to victory someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we're on to victory someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we are not afraid today.